Hey people, decided that I'm going to do this part in the bath. People who know me will know that this is one of my favourite places to be. It's my tranquil space. I have music and candles, bubbles, lots of bubbles, and my lovely bathroom I've painted myself. Coral reef, love it. And a big jellyfish over there. Well, this video is a little bit about myself, and I must apologise first. I've been told that I say a lot, and this is a trigger for some people, especially my friend Heather. It's something that I'm gonna have to be conscious of and try and stop doing it, because she recognises my mother when I say so I'm very sorry, Heather. I'm trying my best. I shall try and pay attention to what I'm saying. I've got so much going on in my head that wants to come out. Just trying to get it all in. Here we go, again. See, I'm recognising it now. At least I'm recognising it. Okay, so who am I? My name is Carolyn Bolus. I was born December the 19th, 1974 in Blackburn, Lancashire, where I was called Carolyn Harwood. Now, I was born into what I understood as a normal family. 5 siblings, 2 brothers and 3 sisters, all older than me. Mum and dad, grandma, granddad, cousins, aunties and uncles. There we go. While I get everything into place in my head, what's coming next? Sorry, Heather. What can I say to replace Comment down below, please. Well, the family that I thought I was born into was like any normal family should be. Unfortunately, there was some members of my family that weren't so kind. And if you're watching this and you think I'm lying, prove me wrong. I'll be saying that a lot. I've tried to prove you wrong so many years, and now it's time for you to prove me wrong. I had 2 older brothers. One lived in London. One lived at home with us. And I had 3 older sisters. Now, one lived down the road from us. One, I wasn't quite sure where she lived. She was the eldest. I grew up calling her, or thinking her name was Fat Cow. This is what I was taught. And then I had, which was the youngest of the sisters, but older than me. She lived at home with us. And I had my mum and my dad. Now, the youngest of the brothers, I won't mention his name, he knows who he is, and people who know me will know who he is. He abused me, sexually, and physically, and mentally. Same as my mother. She was very aggressive, and she's the one that wore the trousers. So when she said jump, you said how high. And when you jumped that high, she changed the goalposts, she moved them, and you had to jump higher. It was one of those sorts of relationships. She was the one that dealt out the punishments, which were harsh, very harsh for a little child. Well, in my eyes anyway, and I should think in nowadays terms, yes, it was very harsh, very harsh. But this is what I thought was normal life. I thought that's what your older brother does to you, you know? This is what your mum does to you. I'd like to just say that my older sister, that was the youngest of the 3 sisters, she was good to me. She was very good to me. And my dad, he was beautiful, absolutely beautiful soul. He was the most encouraging through my life. I'm coming up there again. Somebody please say, comment down on there. What should I say instead of Yeah, he was beautiful. He taught me to be who I am today, really. And I do thank him very much for that. And I thank my sister for helping me as well. I'm not going to name names, not yet. Anyway, you know who you are. You know who you are. You know what you did, whether it was good or bad. Now, I will be going into detail about abuses later on, but the biggest thing for me, really, was at the age of 13. I think it was 13 anyway. I can't remember ages and dates. I have to put it all into perspective. This is just part of the mental health issues that I've had over my life, because a lot of memories have been stored away and they won't come out because they're just too traumatic. So yeah, about 13. I come home from school. My eldest brother's there, the one that lived down in London. He'd actually moved down to Devon where we was, and he was there one day when I come home from school. He said, "Kaz, come sit in the kitchen, I need to speak to you." He was the only one that was there, and I was like, okay. I thought I was in trouble. I'd done something wrong, because I normally had done. As a kid, you do things wrong, but there was things that I hadn't even done wrong that I got blamed for, so it was one of those, oh, what have I done wrong? So he sat me down in the kitchen, and he was like, "You know your mum and dad?" And I'm like, yeah. "Well, I've got to tell you this, they're not your mum and dad." And obviously, shock horror. And he says, "You know your eldest sister had that?" And I'm like, "Yeah. The one that nobody likes, the one I've been taught to call fat cow and hate and be afraid of. She's not actually your big sister, she's your mum." And it was left there. Now, I had to deal with all that all by myself. I had no counselling. I had no one to talk to about it. When I did talk to people about it, I got lies back. I got, obviously, their version of stories. I never got told who my dad was. I still don't know who my dad was. My mum refuses to tell me that. To be honest, after what I've heard about her, I don't think she knows. She told me so many stories, like he died in a motorbike accident when I was very little. He got cut in half. Horrific story. And she loved him very much. But then, years later, I found out this wasn't the truth at all. It was just a diversion to stop me from asking about him. So yeah, in all this time, through the mental, physical and emotional abuse, sexual abuse, I developed mental health issues. I was diagnosed, I think it was back in 2004, 5. I was diagnosed with depression. This was after, it was my second suicide attempt really, but it was the first one that people actually knew about, because the first one nobody knew about at all. And yeah, I was put on antidepressants and all that, which made me worse. Obviously some do work, you've got to pick and choose which ones work for you, because some of them do make it worse, so that's what you've got to be careful about. Yeah, my train of thought will go. My brain does shut down when I do try and talk about certain things. It's just part of the mental health issues. There we go. Mental health, that's what I was talking about. I have to find something that relates to what I was thinking about before I can start again. So yeah, mental health issues. I was diagnosed after that with emotional personality disorder and dissociation. Now, I hadn't got a clue what any of these meant. So over the years I've had to learn about myself, about my mental illnesses and connect up all the dots of why I had these mental illnesses in the first place. Obviously there's family members there that deny everything that happened, and trying to get it from their point of view, because they shut up when I asked questions about my past, about myself, where even memories, they shut down. Some memories they will agree to, yeah, this is what happened, this is how it was, this is how the house was, this is where we went, this blah 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 blah, yeah. But when it comes to the abuse, no, they won't admit that at all. So it starts sending you crazy. You start thinking, oh well, yeah, I know this went on, I knew this went on. It wasn't a dream. I shouldn't be dreaming that sort of thing when I'm my age. I shouldn't even know about stuff at that age. So it just dawns on you that this was a reality that you lived. So it's trying to find out all that for myself. Searching so many different disorders and things like that, because I had to find out who I was, and I had to find out why I couldn't do things, why I acted certain ways. And in the end, I did find out the reasons why. Not that they'll admit to it, but that's what I found out for myself. And when I found out, I started doing things like removing toxic people from my life. All these people that brought me up and conditioned me to think certain things, because it was hiding their lies. So yeah, I had to find myself, and I'm beginning to, or I should say that I'm quite at the end of finding out who I am actually. I used to think that I was nobody special. That would have been my answer. Who are you? Oh, nothing special. But I've recently found out in the last since just before December last year, that yeah, I am special. Everybody's special. We're on this earth. We're life. We're special. Not everybody gets to live. Not everybody gets to experience this universe that we have, this beautiful universe. I am special. I am life. I create life. That's just special in itself, So basically, what my intentions are is to help people in the same situation that have gone through such trauma and been lied to and been conditioned to think certain things about themselves that aren't true. I want to help people move forward, to find their own selves, basically. Get them to learn, well, not get them, help them, because everybody's got their own choice to do things. I can't force anybody to believe what I'm saying. I can't force anybody to make changes to their behaviour. That's in their own whatever, that's their own decision, I can't control that sort of thing. But for those that would like some help, ask me questions. I'll help you in any way I possibly can, even if I've got to sit and do research for you, if you can't do it yourself. That's the sort of person I am. And I would like to get it out into the world, that even though you've got mental health issues, mental illnesses, there is 99.9% a reason behind it that isn't from birth. It's not a birth defect. I know some mental illnesses are birth defects, and obviously from accidents and things like that, brain damage and stuff like that. But there's a lot that aren't anything to do with that. It's all to do with the conditioning that you've had and the environment that you've been brought up in, or that you're still around, So I just really wanted to bring awareness about that through my own story. So I shall leave you there. And sorry if I've said so many times through it. Heather, I really do apologise, and I shall try my hardest to stop. I'll get there one day. It's like everything else, I got there. I'll get there with that as well. So, bye-bye. Sending everybody love and light. Take care. Love you lots.